You know, I find it to be a little bit difficult to start recording this episode, as of course the loss from the prior is just staring me in the face. Biggest win of this series history, the overtime win against San Jose, only to lose in Game 7. And that brings us to today, where yet again we have more question marks than answers, and I will point this out now as the dog is a good 2 to 3 feet away from me and chewing on a bone. So if you can hear the sound of chewing in the background, say hello to Emmy, who looks absolutely adorable right now, I have to admit. I don't know what this episode's going to bring, obviously. When I look at what I would prefer to do with this team at this point, I mean, the last episode really set that in stone as San Jose ended up winning the Stanley Cup. We just had so many underperforming players, which of course led to me making perhaps, and I would agree, too many changes out of desperation to try and find some level of success, and we just couldn't get that success and any really secondary offense from the bottom six, and that led to our defeat. The Sharks went on to eliminate Winnipeg in 6 and then sweep the Buffalo Sabres in the final. And I'm so worried now at this point because it feels like, the Sharks actually won back-to-back, it feels like we're in Ovechkin territory post, or pre-2008, of course. It doesn't fly now, post the 2018 Stanley Cup final. It feels like we're in Ovechkin era where I am legitimately starting to have concerns that we might not ever get there with Trent Bengoa. And if we don't, we're done. Period. I mean, it's the only way it's going to happen. Volk put up the most points and was league MVP, by the way, and then got to the NHL lineup and couldn't do anything. Volk had an amazing season. Unfortunately, he just couldn't translate any of that success to the NHL level. Of course, we don't need to look at the Stanley Cup winner. We already know. Let's get a look at the progress reports. Again, this series, it isn't about trading away players at this point. But, you know, you talk about bringing in someone like a Riley Sutter. Is that worth it at this point? It might be. Might be worth it to let him go. I don't know. Chesney's up to an 81. I'm so conflicted over what we should do in the future, in the short-term future with this team. As you can see, we have so many players who aren't at the point where they're going to develop. Lockhart and Smoskowitz are both up to 68s. 3-point improvement for Boro. 4-point improvement for Rick Newberry, and some other minor examples of improvement as we scroll on through. You guys can look at that when you get the opportunity to, if you want to pause the video, but of course those are inconsequential players. I've talked about it. We're stuck in having to go for it with this team because with Trent being 32 years old, we don't exactly have time. We might be able to tank for a season or two and hope that we get a decent prospect out of it, but I just don't really see how that's going to work. I just feel like we're stuck as Jared Anderson Dolan retires. Of course, we called him up for the last-minute postseason effort. Didn't really work out, but we gave him an opportunity. He is out of here. Skinner, Montembeault, Michael DiPietro retires. And in terms of skaters, David Pastrnak finished with over 1,100 points. Austin Matthews with over 1,000 points. And Daniel Sprong as well. Turned into a monster. So, in this episode, I mean, the draft is pretty straightforward, but from there, I don't know. The re-sign phase, what this team looks like heading into the next season, I just don't know. But regardless, let's take a look. I don't really care to know if we miss out on anybody. Let's just go ahead and sim to our pick, and we'll look from there. We have the 26th pick in this draft, and there were some decent players from the looks of it. I'm going to scroll through. I'm not really that interested to know what other teams ended up with, although obviously Bickle, holy shit. Coburn as well. Lynch as well, and Bergfors. So we may just have an outside chance at finding somebody here. But of course, the player pool is so limited. Let's take a look at Shing Time. Not eligible. Montgomery, not eligible. We move to the second round. Bomick, not eligible. Merritt, not eligible. Wesley, not eligible. Sterling, not eligible. Davison is our first guy. Don Davison, who I passed on last year. In fairness, he's looking pretty good. If he could be medium top 6, he would actually be a really good pickup. But obviously that's unfortunate that he is our best option, but we're going to make that choice right now. So Don Davison is the top pick, and he is medium top 6. All things considered, that is a very good way to start off this draft. I figured a medium top 6 defenseman was on his way, but no, we get Davison, who's a 68 at 20 years old. That's not bad. Don Davison, welcome to the team, and at the very least, I mean, as compared to Shing Time, it's a steal. So at the very least, we end up with a half-decent first-round pick. Not sure who else we're going to get. Maybe nobody. We'll see here. But at least we started things off on a good note. And that brings us to the third round. We have Bursey. No. Sawchuk. No. Guerrero. No. Stafford. No. Nicholas. No. Kern. No. Prosser is eligible. So Prosser is the first guy we could look at. What about Garlock? He's a no. Galchenyuk. What about Orr? Calvin Orr? Nope. Chuko? No. Sharma? Nope. Linglet? No. Petrovich or Petrovic? No. Blake? Nope. Wyman? Nope. God damn it, Stepan. At least we had our first round pick. Shannon is eligible. Hey, we have another one before we get to the projected to be undrafted territory. Burkhoel, no. LeClaire is also eligible, and I'll probably take him. So we have 3 players before we get into undrafted territory. We will go ahead and select Sheldon Prosser from the Tri-City Americans. Again, for those who have forgotten, it is Tri-City, Everett, Spokane, and Seattle. And those are the 4 teams, the Washington State-based teams. Prosser is our selection here. Is he any good? He's not bad. Low top 4 is solid. 59 overall, 19 years old is a little bit low. It's a little bit better than expected. I mean, at best, I was hoping for medium top 6. That's not what we ended up with. So that's unfortunate. But well, actually, it's not unfortunate. We ended up with somebody better. So it's nice to, for once, end up with somebody having them be better than expected, of course, when we've had such a bad track record of that. And I totally got distracted by the dog chewing on her bone because it's hilarious and adorable. Damn it. Johnny Shannon from the Everett Silvertips is going to be our next selection. He's 17 years old. I'm going to guess medium top 9 at best, but we'll see what we get. Low top 9. Right. Well, Johnny, thanks for coming. But it's the last we'll hear of you until I don't sign you and release you to the free agent pool. Because, yeah, you're not going to cut it. We are going to take a goaltender, not that we need him, but Byron LeClaire, the 19-year-old from the Tri-City Americans, will be the pick. A medium starter would be nice. We get medium fringe, which, all things considered, isn't terrible, and it certainly could have been a whole hell of a lot worse. From there, things get interesting because we have to look for steals. Of course, not only do we have to hope that there are steals, we have to hope that they are eligible for us to select them. Kevin Barnaby is not eligible. What about Darby? No. And McKinley? No. All right, so no more goaltenders for us in this draft. What about defense? Oh my goodness, please. Please. Shit. Edward Lashoff is not eligible. What about Udes? Damn it. Also not eligible. That's a swift kick to the groin. What about Chimera? No. Whitman? No. Gilroy? No. And then we have 3 unknowns. Corey Madden is a no. Danny Ladd is a no. Sheldon Colburn is a no. So we have no more defensemen either. We're going in for the forwards. Right wing, do we have anybody? The Enforcer Neal is a no-go. Anthony, no. Ramjag Singh, no. Cullen, oh my god. Johnson is also not eligible. Urquhart, no. 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 Kill me, please. Why does this game hate me with, hey, there we go, the oh, fiery passion of 1,000 suns. Blacker's not eligible. We have a Dingle. He's not eligible, though. Messier wouldn't count anyway. Gillis. Hooray. Packard. Arnold getting the Packard. Edmonton. Saskatoon. Everett. Harvey Trotter. Neat. We at least have 3 options. Will we have any more, though? And will any of them be decent? Find out next. I mean, the answer is going to be no. I think we all know that at this point. Just centers left to check. And from there, it starts off with not even Agostini. Hunter? No. Morrissey? No. Into the unknowns. Kules? No. Nope. Nope. No. Not happening. It's just not going to happen. Screw you, Fiddler. Kick rocks, Fiddler. Nobody likes you, Fiddler. The Fiddles. The Fiddles. Oh, Emmy, you're adorable. It's cute. I should have webcam up right now, but I don't. Nobody gets to look at my cute dog other than me, unless we're on Twitch, in which case she's a goddamn emote. Anyway, we have all the players that we can mark. If we don't have enough for a 7th round pick, I have a backup plan, a contingency plan. Let's go ahead and take the 20-year... No, you know what? We'll save the best for last. Nope, 2 20-year-olds. What about Gias? All right, let's get the disappointment out of the way. Bruce Gias, Seattle Thunderbirds, left wing. Brucey boy, how good are you? You are not. You are the opposite of good. You are bad. Good thing is we only have 2 more picks, so we don't have to worry about making a 7th for 7th trade. Next up, we have 2 20-year-olds. We're going to go for the 2-way first. 20-year-old left wing Harvey Trotter from the Everett Silver Tips. Harvey, how good are you? You're better than expected, and a low top 9 for an unknown player isn't bad, but obviously that doesn't help all that much. And that brings us to round 7. And our final player in this draft, Brandon Matthews, the playmaker from the Seattle T-Birds. How good is he? He is not. Which makes that 6th round selection that much better, but really doesn't make me feel that much better. So it's, once again, a 1-player draft for the most part. We end up with Davison, which, you know, cool. But for the most part, we're still stuck in the same habit of having players who haven't been able to get it done, and just no real hope or optimism that this team is going to find a way to just, you know, bring it all together and get the job done. As far as the goaltending goes, we are going to let go of Smoskowitz. No reason to bring him on, and we will re-sign Wisniewski. I'm going to try for 2 years with a max 2-way deal. Defensively, Wakabayashi needs a big boy contract. We only have $25 million in cap space. I need to be a little bit careful. He is willing to re-sign. Let's go 2 years at $6 million. I'm hopeful that he'll accept that. And from there, I hope you can hear the sound of the dog chewing in the background, because it's hilarious to me. That I should reference it. I should hopefully remember to reference it in the episode title. Oh boy. So let's see. Our top 6 again is the same. So with guys like Gleason, Marco, Riddle, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we'll let go of Newbury because he's trash. And I mean, Kovalchuk and Prosser aren't going to be signed. So again, we're stuck with the same players at the AHL level. Do you think the fine people of Tacoma are sick and tired of seeing these hacks play hockey every night? They must be. That must be torture. Watching our AHL team is the least satisfying hockey product on the market today. Come to a Tacoma Evergreens game. We'll put you to sleep. Let's see. Kyler, not willing to re-sign. Wants a boatload of money. Right. Well, let's get everybody else sorted before Kyler decides, hey, I earned a shitload of money, even though I'm a perennial playoff choker who never gets it done. which is true. Davison needs to be signed, at the very least. DeSantis will not be signed because there's no point. Bengoa and Whitfield might be signed. Left wings, oh god, Manny Jonas needs a deal. He is willing to re-sign, though. I'm going to see if I can drop that down to like 8.1 over 3 years. And again, this is why I often did the 85% trick when it didn't seem like it was necessary, because this could be rough for us. I am going to sign Boro. I'm not. He's not going to get better. I'm not going to sign Trotter either. There's no point. They're not going to improve to a spot where they're actually going to be useful. So screw it. And then centers, thankfully, we don't need anybody else, so that's cool. And we can also get rid of a shitload of them. Lockhart needs to be signed, however. So Brigley can go. Let me sort that by overall. Smith, Ranford, and Orville Redenbacher can go. So let's see what happens as far as answers from the first batch of free agents, and then we'll see who we can retain to keep both Seattle and Tacoma in somewhat of a competitive state, at least for the regular season, and then we'll get to the playoffs again and completely choke it. Just die a choking-related death, as everybody is rejecting, except for the entry-level deals. You ungrateful pricks. That is the only way to put it. You disgust me. You really do. You know what? No. I'm sick of some of these players. I really am. I really am. Wisniewski, how dare you reject my offer? You think you can get work elsewhere? Go ahead and try. Defensively, Gleason, kick rocks. Marco, Riddle, fuck ya. We don't need you. Get out of here. Wakabayashi, how about 625? You're willing to sign an extension. Give me a bit of slack here. Gardner, Crane, whatever. I'm done with these people not accepting these offers. Screw it. And then AHL-wise, I don't know. We still have to send out offers. We got $23 million. Kyler, you're insane. Like you really are. What's Bengoa looking for? If he doesn't accept that, he's gone. Anybody that I send a two-way deal to, if they don't accept the max offer, I'm cutting them. Period. Bear Rintoul, I'm good with that. Sidhu, I'm good with that. We'll wait for Kyler because that's way too much money. Manny Jonas, I'm going to try to drop that to 8.5. Perhaps. Possibly, perhaps. Chloe will wait. Bits, what are you looking for? One-way deal, but that's fine. Redden. Hopefully, again, a max two-way deal works for you. And at center, we'll start off with Moses Malone. That's a fine deal. Coop, not that really worth signing, but we'll see what happens. And same thing for Reisner. If any of these guys reject these two-way deals, I'm just going to release them. I'm not going to deal with it anymore. The AHL team can be made up of complete scrubs for all I care. I'll do what I have to do. I'm sick and tired of negotiating with these people who just for some reason have the personality trait of we'd rather sit at home. Rintoul, Jonas, Whitfield, see you later, buddy. Bengoa, Jake, you know what? Fine. That is the catalyst. Some of these guys, just screw you. I'm not dealing with these nobodies holding me up for more money just so that the AHL team can be competitive. The NHL team can't find success. Like hell, the AHL team is going to find success. So defensively, we're fine. Right wing, I'll offer, you know what? No, Whitfield, get the hell out of here. I don't want you. I don't want you. Jake Bengoa, kick rocks. You were the biggest mistake we had made in the series. Kyler, I'll give you what you're looking for if you're willing to sign it. Nobody else is worth signing. Left wings, what's Chloe looking for? Yeah, that's a bit much. That is a bit much. We'll see if he's willing to go for that. Bits. I mean, I gave you what you were asking for, and you still rejected it. That's kind of a dick move. Chuck Lorentz, I haven't sent an offer to yet. I imagine I'm not going to be able to keep him. He's going to be looking for way too much money. Again. So, we might be losing some long-time faces, which, you know, I don't exactly get upset about because I don't exactly have good memories with a lot of these players, It's a lot of miserable failure in the postseason. Klo, Bitz, Lorentz, and Yamamoto all rejected. I'm not against letting them go. I'm really not. I have cap space to sign them, but I'm tired of them extorting me for more money. So you know what? Screw it. If you think you can get paid elsewhere, Kyler, you're 35. Screw you. Kyler Yamamoto's gone. Sick of him. Klo, what'd you do last year? Yeah, you're gone. Screw you. You're not getting more money from me. Lorentz, I don't even care. Get out. And Brent Bitz, whatever. You disappointment. Get out. I don't want any of you here anymore. I don't. I'll sign a bunch of terrible veterans or just terrible players in general to replace you. And odds are they won't be that much worse than you. Constant disappointment from players like that. And that's led me to this point where I'm not necessarily salty, but I'm just tired of the disappointment. Oh my God, can I go for Brigley, please? Goaltenders. Do we have anybody interesting that can play backup goaltender? Soderstrom, McNiven, Daniel Marvinland. That's a good name. Berube. And a lot of computer-generated players at this point. We're so far into it. Linus Soderstrom, though? You're not even looking for a two-way deal. Are you insane? What about Berube? Tristan Berube. Who's the worst goaltender on the list? That's my question. St. Jacques. Then again, they'd be looking for two-way deals. Although, Ivanov. Adam Ivanov is not. I can sign him to a one-way. Great. Can you imagine if he rejects? Defensively. Who do we have? We know that we need to sign quite a few guys. Or do we? We might not need to. Who do we have for veterans at this point who might be terrible? That are looking for under $1 million. Loretz generated. Pierre-Olivier Joseph? Olivier Joseph. Of course, in real life was a Coyote selection. Let's try and sign him up. Anybody else? Lorette, Robin Solo's probably looking for a bit too much. Noel Hoffenmeyer. Let's do it. Gotta get the Hoff. The Hoof. The Hoofenmeyer. The Hoofenmeyer. Hoofen? The Hoffen. Jacob Mulver. I never know how to pronounce your name, and I'm certainly not going to learn now. Sign him up for a season. Brodziak. Artyom Manulin. Sign him up. What a guy. Heiskanen. Beamish. Luke Beamish. Hilbert. Jerry Garcia. Dockel. Chisholm, who was just drafted, I do believe. Actually, no, wait, I don't think that was the Declan Chisholm. It might have been. Namagoose! Lyndon Namagoose! That's a real player, too. It has to be. Jockton Cheney, sign him up. Every team needs a good Cheney. Just don't shoot your teammates in the face. That's an old reference. Xavier Bernard, sign him up as well. There we go. And then forwards, because we need to sign some of these. Alex Tuck. Who's cheaper? Who is relatively cheap? Malm? I don't know yet. Semen. Svensson. Gieser. Carson. Macaulay Carson. Sign him up. Yeah, 3-year deal. Boo. Never mind. Boo. Boo. You're looking for too much money. Boo. Or not even that. It's just too much term. Benoit Olivier Gru. Sign him up. Why not? We're back to this. It's been a long time, and I hoped that we never had to do this again. But here we are. Here we are, having to bring in a bunch of no-names because we're just surprise, surprise. The challenge of drafting players from just 4 junior league clubs has had mixed success. I think we're good. I probably have to sign more forwards. I'm not concerned. Let's sim the next season. I wasn't going to deal with any more garbage from any players like Kyler Yamamoto, Brent Bitz, or any of them. They're not exactly names that I'm not upset to see Kyler Yamamoto go. And he was our first draft pick, if I'm not mistaken. He might have been the second. I'm not upset to see him go. Why? Because for him, it's a legacy of choking. It is. I'm amazed that I held on to him on this team for this long. That's the thing. He wasn't bad for us. Playoff time comes around. Just, whatever. Just whatever. I'm not upset about seeing some of these players go. Why would I be? And maybe that's a move I'll regret when we don't have a 30 to 40 point getter in the regular season. But what good does a 30 to 40 point getter in the regular season do when you get to the postseason and you do nothing with it? Year after year after year after year after year. Yeah, it's been pretty disappointing because I do feel like this team has had the talent at a certain point, one way or another, to in fact make it. They have not done it. I mean, they've made the playoffs, but they haven't made it further, which is what I'm alluding towards, especially when we've seen some of the AI teams. So our goaltending is set. Our defense is, of course, still set. And then forward-wise, I mean, Moses and Redden are going to be the ones that get dropped. We'll keep her in Tool. And that should work. So, overall, it's not like the lineup has taken a massive hit, you know? It's still looking all right. I think I still want to have Volk in a slightly better situation. So, I'm going to go Hamhuis, Rintoul, Sutter. Third line. Let's go with Barabal, McChesney, Sidhu. Third line, Rogalski, Belfour, Volk. I can actually put Volk at center. And then Jonas, Bengoa, Tanel. I'm going to put Rogalski back up on the top line just because I know he works well with Trent for whatever reason. Might be worth having Jonas there, but maybe the PK makes up for it. You notice too, like Wakabayashi's development's just grown stale because he's like, Jesus Christ, really? We're going to keep losing? I'll put him back on the top pairing. Maybe not, maybe not. Maybe not. I think our team is set for this season. This is the club that we are moving forward with, and then down in the AHL, who gives a shit? Just who cares? Everyone that we care about's in the lineup. Cool. Let's go for it. The teams are set in terms of player types, making sure people are in the right position, in terms of optimizing the AHL squads for, you know, the best amount of ice time. Just screw it. What good has it done us? What good has come from it? Nada. Nothing. Absolutely nothing except playoff disappointment after playoff disappointment. Getting tired and depressed just talking about it. But at the very least, we are going to sim through the next season. The next episode, though, will either be a postseason episode or a draft. Maybe if it goes quickly enough and we don't make the playoffs, maybe this episode will have 2 drafts in one. If we're that bad and miss the playoffs, I wouldn't expect us to miss the playoffs with the team that we have. But you never know. This team might just pull a rabbit out of the hat and find a new way to disappoint me and let me down. We might not even need the postseason anymore to accomplish our goal of letting me down. We might be able to do it in the regular season. And this is what I hate. I walked into this series with no expectations and no hope of us having any form of success whatsoever. Yet here we are. Here we are. In the 20 season, and after all, 20, 34, 35, that's what I said. That's what I said. It's not my fault you can't hear. We're in the 2034-35 season. We've made the playoffs on numerous occasions. We have won a division title. And now I'm at the point where I actually have hope and optimism. And this team just let me down. Oh boy, did they let me down. I think that San Jose loss has broken me. I do. That was the breaking point right there. I still say last year represented, or flat out was, our best opportunity to find success in this series, and we could not do it. The top line, the supporting cast, the goaltending, it just wasn't where it needed to be. It wasn't where it should have been. It wasn't what it could have been. And that is just the story of this series. It wasn't what it could have been. In terms of player production, success, draft luck. But we're not done yet, folks. We're not done yet. I have talked about this on Twitter. I've talked about it on Twitch. I haven't mentioned it here yet, though. In terms of any new series starting, of course, I'm waiting for the real-world free agency to start. I'm going to wait a week or two after so that I can update the rosters and get everything good to go. So at this rate, I mean, the Seattle series is going to go the full 25 years. Ottawa and the USA series, barring an early cancellation, will be continuing on, and then the new series will be starting after that. So we'll see what happens here. We still have a couple of years in terms of what we can do. Oh my god. Yawning 24 here. See, this is the first time now in about 4 or 5 days where I got lazy. Not lazy, it was procrastinating. I wasn't feeling it, right? I just wasn't feeling it. I was not feeling it now, Mr. Krabs. I just couldn't get the energy levels up, and I felt like, man, I'm not going to record right now because I wouldn't be able to provide an entertaining episode in any aspect. So I waited until after I streamed for the first time in a while, which is why you hadn't had Tired 24 in a long time. He's here today. You're listening to him right now because, yeah, that was a dumb decision on my part. But you can't be on point every day, I suppose, especially when you do multiple daily uploads a day and you stream on a daily basis or a nightly basis. Oh my god. There we go. Let's get that yawn out there. We're feeling good. Speaking of good, or I should say not speaking of good, the Seattle Sea Cattle this season, apparently the loss of Bitts, Klo, and Yamamoto has meant that much to us. Maybe Trent's underperforming because we let go of his brother, which was long overdue. That's going to go down as one of the biggest blunders. I mean, consider him a draft bust if you want. That's where the series went south. The second Jake Bengoa decided to be a complete draft bust, that's what it is. It's the curse of the dude that we traded for Jake Bengoa. Because that guy's probably won cups and is laughing all the way to the bank. In the meantime, we get perennial AHLer Jake Bengoa, who we finally released, and now he's sitting at home. Or, I mean, if you want to believe this game's somewhat realistic, he signed in Germany or somewhere. Maybe he's over in the Finlands. You know, the multiple lands known as Finn. Maybe he's over there. We're at 29, and 5 as we approach the beginning of March. And I mentioned that this episode could be a double draft episode somewhat sarcastically. That looks like it's going to be the case. We are technically under 500 if you consider the overtime losses, although we are picking up a bit of momentum here in March. Tacoma is a terrible team, as you would have expected. We just got figuratively pooped on by the Columbus Blue Jackets. 4 games left in the month of March. So we're approaching 40 wins. The overtime losses might help us. We're going to sim the last 2 games, and on April 1st, we'll take a look at the standings, although I'm thinking we have another draft to get to. We have more yawning to get to because I cannot stop yawning all of a sudden. So that's good. We are 1 point out of the playoffs behind San Jose. If San Jose makes the playoffs as a wild card team and we do not, I am going to be a very unhappy boy. We pick up an overtime win against the Bruins, 35-win Red Wings, 43-win Flyers, and 44-win Canucks. We have to win this game against Detroit. It's our last truly winnable game, and we won 4-2. So we have hope, maybe, of potentially being a wild card team. Wow, we're up to 3rd. We are currently in 3rd in the division, but could technically miss the playoffs if these next 2 games go that poorly. Is this a playoff episode? Or is next episode a playoff episode? Or is it the start of a next season because today is a draft episode? We beat Philadelphia. Have we clinched a playoff spot? Is my question. We have not. Somehow. And that's why both wildcard spots right now are in the Central. We need to win. This might as well be a playoff game. If we lose here, and I'm almost afraid to jump into the in-depth sim because we know it goes poorly, I'm just going to sim it. If we lose, we might miss. We might miss the playoffs unless we get at least a point from this game. 5-3. The Seattle Sea Cattle are going to the playoffs yet again to take on the team that we just defeated, the Vancouver Canucks. Suck it, San Jose. Your reign of terror is over, and your old pal, the Sea Cattle, just got one up on you. You bastards. We're going to the postseason, damn it. Pete Rogalski, another strong season, 57 points. Pete, I love you. Trent Bengoa, our leading scorer, down from 73 points, actually dropped below 60 for the first time since 2029-2030. So that's a little bit scary and also kind of acts as a reality check. And Tommy Tunnell continues to be the Nicholas Backstrom of the team. Again, over 50 points. He has hasn't posted under 50 points now in about a decade. So that is tremendous. On the second line, Manny Jonas with 45 points. Respectable, but obviously his offensive output declined tremendously. And that is because despite the 90 offensive awareness, Logan Volk sucks. 85 points in the AHL, 23 in the NHL. We sorely missed Kyler Yamamoto on that second line, although Belfour had a bit of a return to form. So yeah, Logan Volk, 90 offensive awareness doesn't mean shit for him because the rest of the stats aren't there, and he just isn't good. Barabal, you're killing me. McChesney, nah. Bradley Sidhu did all right though. So, I mean, if there's a go-to move here, it's fairly obvious. We'll play Sidhu at center. Volk can kick rocks. There's a chance I drop Barabal. Sutter actually did all right on the fourth line. Go figure. Volk, I don't like you. I don't. 23 points, 18. 23 points for Sutter. Yeah, Volk, you can kick rocks. I'm not setting this playoff lineup in stone right now, but that's probably what I would go with, all things considered. And then defensively, Reza with 5 points. He was a +4. Evan O'Donnell still did well. Wakabayashi had a strong season. Mile was okay. All things considered, I'm all right with the defense. The goaltender had a Vezina caliber season, and that he's going to win the Vezina. Oh my God. Oh, that's almost painful to see, though. Like, oh my God. Look at his past 3 seasons. 930, 937, and then this year, an unreal 942 save percentage, a 173 GAA with 11 shutouts, 32 wins and 57 appearances. So we get to see a lot more of Grant Hargrave this year, which turned out to be a bad thing because he sucked. So Joshua Oshie is pretty much the reason why we're here. And Grant Hargrave decided, I'm okay. I'm just done trying to be a good defenseman or a good goaltender. Good defenseman. What the hell am I on? I'm on lack of sleep. That's what I'm on. AHL-wise, I mean, I don't know who the hell we'd call up. I feel like we're kind of stuck with the personnel that we have. So there's that. They are, of course, very much not going to the playoffs. However, again, the Sea Cattle are. What is the winning combination? What is the magic? What is the Krabby Patty secret formula that we need to find here? There's too many goddamn SpongeBob references. I probably haven't watched an episode of SpongeBob in at least 10 years. But damn it, some of the references and the memes will not die. Big meaty claws. 42, 35, and 5 on the season. I mean, again, just what is that winning combination that we need to find? I actually thought we'd be the team with the worst record to have made the playoffs, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Some teams still have a game left, so I want to wait. We'll sim that. We'll take a look at the team stats, the player stats, and then that will do it for this one as the LA Kings miss out on the playoffs via tiebreaker. Hopefully they didn't miss out on the right to just get stomped by Vancouver. We have just proven recently that we can beat Vancouver. Goals for per game, bottom 10 in the league at a 2.28. No real surprise there. Our goals against average, though, second lowest in the league, behind two teams, both conference winners. So that just goes to show you how good our goaltending was and our defense was, for that matter. Our power play was at 17.4%, about a bottom 10 in the league, just outside of it, so not ideal. Our penalty kill at 81.3% was also not great. So offensively, we're lacking, and special teams-wise, we're also lacking a little bit. So we might need to address that. And then again, league-wide, just for the hell of it, goal scoring in general was down. Goal scoring in general was down, so I guess it kind of makes things not seem so bad in terms of the point production. So we'll take that into account. But I'm hopeful that Oshie will win. I don't think he will. I think Patrick Barney of Calgary is going to steal it away from him. Games played, but more wins. I think he's going to steal it, and I'm very upset about that. Joshua Oshie, the Vezina winner in my heart, I thank you for returning to form, despite you nearly costing us the first-round matchup last postseason. For the love of God, prove to us that we made the right choice, that I made the right choice. That'll do it for this one. Mainly so that I can... Actually, I still have another episode to record after this one. Oh, God. That episode's going to be so much better than this one. And by better, I mean a hell of a lot worse. It really depends on your definition of better. Let me know what you would do lineup-wise. Let me know what you think of the moves we made today by releasing some of the slouches that we've been employing for quite a long time. And for now, I end the episode by saying this. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, tell a friend, tell your mom that she's a nice lady. Unless she isn't, in which case, I'm sorry, but not everybody can win the lottery of getting great parents. Or maybe they are a great parent and they're troubled, in which case I'm sorry, and now I'm making you think about it when this is supposed to be your escape from it, which means I am a terrible YouTuber and probably an even worse person. Links are in my description, but it is mine because this is my channel, to my Twitter and Twitch. Those are also mine. Although, are they technically? I feel like they more belong to Twitter and that they could take it away from me whenever they wanted to, but that's the thing. Follow, subscribe, share, like, thanks, please, bye.